Hey guys, good afternoon. It's like 2 o'clock already on a blistering hot day in Washington. It is officially 100 degrees, yeah? I think it's getting up to 101, and with the heat index and all that other stuff they add to it, it's quite a bit hotter. We're down at the White House, but not because we're going in, not because there's anything going on there. We're just passing by. We parked our car down here. Out for a bike. Sounds like ice cream music, but I don't see any ice cream. Downtown, pretty darn quiet. Not a whole lot going on. Let's spin around DC and see how everyone's dealing with the heat. I bet a bunch of people are jumping in fountains somewhere. It is that hot. Well, the Jimi Hendrix guy is back. Haven't seen him in a while. And the tour guys have set up their tour booth. Okay, let's make our way down 15th Street here. Head over to the National Mall. Maybe it'll be cooler over there because there's a lot of grass over there. That's the old Ebbett Grill. That's the oldest restaurant in DC that's been operational. It's been like around 100 some years. Not always in that location. It's only been there for like 40 years. That is a power broker place. Go there, you see congressmen and White House officials and journalists and a whole bunch of tourists. Just a whole bunch of tourists. Ooh. Hey, we got some sprinklers on. We should go ride through the sprinklers maybe. I'm not going to be out here very long because I'll just bake in this weather. I mean, I can feel my skin already in the sun. Oh, there's that nice cool mist. Let's go find some more sprinklers, yeah? I came up here because there's shade. Every now and then. So down over here on the National Ellipse on my right, we have a memorial over there to the Boy Scouts of America. That's the official Boy Scouts memorial. Then you have this fading memorial here that's pretty much been eroded by like acid rain and whatnot. Those are the original landowners who had their land taken to make the District of Columbia. There's like 30 of them, I think. Maybe 16, I can't remember. Okay. Whew. That is your African American History Museum. Actually a pretty cool museum. Though it's so crowded and popular, I think you still need to get tickets to go in there. Alright, let's get out on the memorial. Let's look for some sprinklers. Okay, we're on the grounds of the Washington Monument, and I cannot find any sprinklers yet. We need to find some cool water. Now, the Washington Monument is also a time ticket, if you want to go into that. Though they do put tickets available for free over at that building every day. So if you come here and don't have a ticket, you can always try to get a last-minute ticket. We can go over to the Lincoln, maybe. The fountain down there doesn't have any kids in it. Usually that place is filled with kids swimming in that fountain. Oh well. Where next? We haven't eaten today, so we can work on that. Let's head up to the Capitol, yeah? See what's up on Capitol Hill. This is a theater. I don't know if they still use it. They like amphitheater for concerts and plays, but I haven't seen many out here in a long time. National Park Service is one of those horribly underfunded organizations, such that they have a lot of dilapidated stuff. Roads, infrastructure, paths. There's a theater up in Rock Creek, a beautiful theater, Carter Barron, I think is the name, and it's just so dilapidated they can't even use it anymore. People will fall through the stage if they go up on the wood. Oh well. Okay, we're down on the National Mall. We found some trees. Over here on my right is the only building on the mall that's not really a museum, though it looks like a museum. This is actually the Department of Agriculture headquarters. It's a huge building, built in the kind of museum style. I've always thought they should just move the Department of Agriculture to like Iowa or someplace closer to where all the agriculture is, and turn this over as the Smithsonian. But bureaucrats, they like to stay in DC, like to get the exposure in Washington, I guess. These are art galleries over here. One of these was the Sackler Art Gallery, I thought. It was paid by the Sackler family, which was behind the OxyContin opioid addiction problem. I'm not sure if they still call it the Sackler or not. They have, or like the Sackler Gallery. It's the Freer Gallery. I think they took the name off. I'm not sure. This is the castle, the Smithsonian headquarters, under renovation for the next couple years. You're not going to go in there if you come and visit. Over there is natural history. That's bugs and dinosaurs and diamonds, gold. It's kind of cool. And then we got some weird art down here that's getting renovated in the Hirshhorn Modern Art Gallery and the sculpture garden they used to have out here. But they lifted up all the sculptures. That's what those cranes are. And they pulled them out and they're building a new sculpture garden, I guess. This is the Arts and Industries building, but it's only had like 1 or 2 exhibits in the last 20 years or something. They're still fixing it up, renovating it. It was kind of a mess. It's the second oldest Smithsonian building. Oof. All right, let's keep going up to Capitol Hill. Up on our right is the Air and Space Museum. Still under renovation. They reopened half of it, and they were supposed to reopen the other half by now, I think, but it's still ongoing. They're adding this beautiful, funky entrance security area. Give them more space inside to put planes, I guess. Less place to put magnetometers, which are now ubiquitous all around DC. That is the modern or classical art over there, National Gallery of Art. National Gallery is actually different than the Smithsonian. They're a different structural entity. I don't know why we have 2, but they felt the need to have 2 different entities. That's the Museum of the American Indian over there, one of our newer museums. And we got 2 seconds left on this light. We can make it. Oof, we made it. Finally, some trees. Whew. All right, let's make our way up Capitol Hill, see what's going on the other side. I don't think anything. I think the House and Senate are out today due to the Republican National Convention. All the congressmen are out in Milwaukee. So, pretty quiet time up here on Capitol Hill. Oh, police are towing cars. That's interesting, I guess. Okay, we're at the reflecting pool, 2 reflecting pools in DC, one for Forrest Gump down by the Lincoln and the other over here by the US Capitol. This actually covers up a freeway. Underneath this is a big interstate. Goes a little bit under that one, like the northbound lanes go under the tunnel, under the water. Let's head up this way. That James Garfield statue right over there. Guess he deserves one. I guess all presidents get one. Ooh, let's go up this way. So there's the US Capitol Dome. And we're going to swing around this way, make our way up the House side, and see what's going on in the parking lot. My answer, I think nothing, but a bunch of tourists running around. Okay guys, we've made it out to the parking lot where there is nothing going on but a bunch of tourists. Like I said, there's not even the big black SUVs that are so common around here. We've got the conventions going on now, and then next month is August, so they're going to go out for the August recess. So not really anticipating a whole lot of anything going on up here on Capitol Hill for the next 6 or 8 weeks. Which I think some people would think is good. Alright, let's head down and make our way back towards downtown. Over there, that's the Prettyman Courthouse. That's where most of the big cases start out in DC. That's where Giuliani's case was. That's where Trump has had a few cases. I think there's going to be more cases. as we think they're going to refile the documents case from Florida, possibly refile it here in DC to get away from that judge they don't like, the prosecutors don't like. That's your Canadian Embassy. And next to that is Johns Hopkins DC campus. And then we'll head back towards the White House. Maybe we'll go through the city. It might be a little cooler in the shade of the buildings. Okay, we are downtown now. My great idea about getting in the shadow of the buildings doesn't really make sense because there's not enough. This is a fire station. The rescue squads are here, one of them at least. And the Chinatown fire truck, because this technically is Chinatown, even though there's only about 150 Chinese that actually live here anymore. Used to be thousands, but they've all moved to the suburbs, leaving behind a neighborhood that's now filled in with large noisemakers. All right, so we are now downtown. There's not a lot of shade from the buildings like I was hoping, but there's a little bit. This is Chinatown, or as the locals call it, China Block, because it's basically only one block of Chinese restaurants left, and even then, most of the Chinese restaurants have left and moved to Maryland, along with all the Chinese nationals that lived here, all the Chinese immigrants. This building has a few of them still living, like about 150 or so, but most of the Chinese have long since left downtown for greener pastures in the suburbs, better schools, safer environments. This can still be a bit sketchy. In Chinatown, all the buildings have their names in English and in Chinese. It's one of the requirements of the historical area. Ooh, it's hot. It's a whiskey bar in Chinese, and then over here is a Walgreens in Chinese. Oh man, that was hot. The exhaust from these vehicles is just killer. Let's cut up this way. Smash Burger should have it signed in Chinese somewhere. Yeah, there it is at the top. Taco Bell. Yeah, that's very Chinese. Okay, we're gonna cut over on this side street and make our way back towards the White House. Okay, we're downtown, 15th and I right now. That's McPherson Square over there. That was the big homeless camp until about a year ago when they kicked them all out and scattered them to the winds and cleaned up that park. Now they moved over to 20th and Virginia Avenue. And then they scattered them again, and then they moved across the street to like 21st in Virginia. Just a constant game of whack-a-mole, basically. You know what, let's get on the sidewalk. This road is just too tight. This used to be like 4 lanes, now it's basically 1. Between the bus lanes and illegally parked vehicles, this road has just become like a trickle. Okay, we're coming up on 16th Street, which has been basically renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza. This is where the giant Black Lives Matter sign is. You can see it well below me as I pedal over it. It's still here, but you know, it was supposed to be like a big plaza for African American events that never really took off. It's pretty much empty most days except for the big sign. Okay, so we're back out at the White House. We're in Lafayette Park by the Andrew Jackson statue. Still missing its cannons. I should check with the Park Service, see when they're coming back. And it is a warm day. Some YouTubers doing their spiel. Truth conductors out here. Not a lot of anybody else though. Whew. You know what, let's go back and get rid of this bike and go find some other way to get around town. It's just too hot. Okay guys, it's like 103 right now. I'm going in. We're supposed to get storms again tonight. We'll monitor the scanners. If there's anything big, we'll go out and check that out like we did last night. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, back in the White House. We'll see what's going on in DC as well. Bye-bye.